Jeff fixed it.
All right. We can call the meeting to order and do the roll call.
Chair Kennedy is absent. Chair Dubin.
Present.
Commissioner Rogers.
Present.
Commissioner Wool.
Here.
Commissioner Wynn.
Present.
Commissioner Gate.
Present.
Commissioner Handel Wall.
Present. Great. And so we'll go on to number 2 on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Are there any additions or anything that anyone needs to say? No. I think we need a motion to adopt the agenda.
I move that we adopt the agenda.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. So let's go on to oral communications. And I don't know if there's anyone in the public that doesn't seem like it. Is there anyone on Zoom that wants to say anything?
There's no one on Zoom.
Okay. All right. So moving on to number 4, the library director report.
Thank you. So I've submitted a written report in the packet, but I did want to highlight a few things from it. The first one, of course, is April, so National Library Week happens this time of year, every year. That was last week, and I want to say something, it was really special. The Tuesday of that week every year is National Library Workers' Day. And so it's supported by the allied professionals and the ALA portion of the library nonprofit world. And they put up a website, a national website where people, colleagues, members of the public can submit someone that they see as their local library star. And we had numerous Santa Cruz staff who were called out on this national website, just sometimes by colleagues, but often by members of the public who just were grateful for what their local library meant for them and their local library staff members. So that was really special. The other special thing that happened since we last met is we did find our new assistant director of libraries in Laura Whaley. Yay. Laura has had many hats in Santa Cruz Public Library since 1997, including being interim assistant director and I think director at some point. So I'm very, very pleased that Laura is in this role. You really hit the ground running, which I'm personally grateful for because it feels like I've been here for a while, but I haven't been here for even a full year yet. So it's nice to have an experienced colleague in that role. The other big thing that's happening in the library right now is we are migrating our website. I think there was a heads up given to this commission previously on this, but we've recently selected a website vendor, Communico, who has worked with many public libraries, including some in the area, and has some real street cred and has a really dynamic website. It's also going to offer us some solutions in scheduling and reservations for programs. And eventually a new discovery layer for how the catalog interfaces with the public. So that's really going to be terrific. We have a kickoff meeting with them next Monday to actually get that underway. And that work will go solid into July with the goal of having something that the public can look and play with during the month of July and give feedback on, and then hopefully we migrate and push the button in early August, which is also terrific. And then I did also just want to point out, I mentioned in this report, you know, unfortunately, there are funding situations at the national level and impacting all sorts of organizations. I just wanted to reassure this group that Santa Cruz Public Libraries does not get any direct funding, direct federal funding from the Institute of Museum and Library Services. That said, we do provide access to services that are coordinated by the state library that does get funding through IMLS for those services. So those range from, you know, online access to the New York Times with your library card. And we average a little over 450 or so articles a month read in Santa Cruz County with their Santa Cruz Public Library cards, all the way up to the Braille and Talking Book Library. which is supported by the Library of Congress in terms of materials and equipment, but their operational funding comes through the IMLS. And I got a message from Mike Martin, who runs it for California, this morning saying their funding is frozen and that's 90% of their operational budget. So they're not saying things are stopping, but something's going to change. And so we'll keep you updated on that. And we are just letting you know, we're watching that very closely. We're also watching what the state of California will likely have to do as they shift monies around, because they're required to keep some things going, and they're gonna rob from Peter to pay Paul. And that might also impact some other funding that we do get from the state library. So we'll keep you updated on that. And I think all sorts of directors are giving a version of that speech right now, so appreciate your patience on
Can
that.
I ask a question?
Yes.
So have we heard anything about the state library yet, even rumblings about budgeting, at this point?
They're keeping it close to the chest right now, and I think that's possibly, I'm sure with Greg Lucas, it's partially strategic. But everything we're getting back from Mike Martin this morning or Rebecca Wendt, who's the deputy state librarian, is really just that they're monitoring things very closely and they know that they're going to be impacted.
And I just wanted to highlight the event on Saturday, the 26th.
Yes. I was going to let.
Oh, Janet. Okay, we'll get to it.
No, you do.
Okay, we'll talk about it in a minute. I should have known.
No, that's all right. I actually crossed it off my list when I saw Janet walking in. So I'm done with my report if there's no more questions. Go on.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay. Moving on to number 5, minutes.
I'm Gina Soderstall. I'm current president of the Friends, and I'm here with happy news and happy report. As Rena suggested, we are having an exciting event on April 26th to celebrate the coming new downtown branch. And we're celebrating that for a number of reasons. One of them is we're going public with a capital campaign. And we're very excited to go public, already having earned $1.9 million. And applaud Tricia, who's one of the co-chairs of the capital campaign committee. Cindy Jackson is the other. And we are beside ourselves with excitement. We have a $3 million goal. We have to the end of 2026 to get it, and we are thrilled to be going public at 1.9. So we're celebrating for that reason. We're celebrating because it's such a collaborative event for a collaborative project. So we are working with the library and library staff on this celebration. We're working with housing, we're working with the community, friends from all over the system, not just the city of Santa Cruz, have been working on planning and creating this festival. Now, what is this festival going to be? It's going to be a library without walls. It's going to be on the actual site that the new library is going to be. We're going to outline the floor plan, parking lot. There's going to be library staff, there's going to be friends, there's going to be interested community members, and we're going to show what a library does, what this library is going to do, answer library questions, answer friends' questions about the capital campaign. It's April 26th, it's a Saturday, it goes from 1 to 4. It's a drop-in event, so come whenever you can. And for any contribution in any amount, so that if a child walks up with 50 cents and wants it down, it will be honored. If you give a donation at the festival in any amount, you will get a book plate and a book. for the new downtown branch, and that is the way we are building our new downtown Friends chapter in Santa Cruz. So we are excited about that. We're excited that housing wants to come and collaborate, that the city of Santa Cruz wants to collaborate, that the media has been very excited to help us publicize it. So, good news.
Yay.
And we'll see you on April 26th.
Can I add a couple of things?
Absolutely.
So I was gonna put this in my member report, but I'm just gonna fold into yours. So, they're gonna have huge poster renderings of what the new downtown library does, and it's so beautiful. So, it'll be an opportunity to see them big. You've probably seen the little pictures, but I mean, they're gonna be
mural-
spectacular.
The mural's about 8 feet, and I don't think.
8 by
it's
10.
8
About the
feet, no,
size of a
8 by
TV.
10.
And they're gonna be around, you know, so there's gonna be a kids room, and there's gonna be food trucks and music.
There's gonna be food
Yeah.
trucks, there's gonna be all kinds of things going on. You will not come there and be bored.
Sue, I was wondering, and you probably do have it, but, so there were two foundations that were very interested long-term with the downtown branch when I was working there. And just hoping that you do still have them, like Sunlight
Oh, yeah.
Foundation.
Yes, I know the two, and they are both been contacted, and we're
Okay.
talking.
We hope that one might be
Yes,
announced
we're hoping to
next
get
week,
used any day.
and we will be able to announce it at the party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it would be significant, so,
Alright, alright.
yeah.
And then the other, wants to wait until 2026, and we're ready for them then.
Okay, cool, great.
Following up on your work. Vivian.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Jana.
for being here and for your support.
Is there any help that this body should be or could be giving on that day?
Always.
Yes, thank you for asking. Well, I mean, you know, we are in a fundraising and we're going, you know, public, so if members of the LAC wanted to make a contribution, that would be so awesome, and you would be honored on the donor wall if it's $1,000 or higher.
We have.
But we also have volunteer opportunities. You can talk to me.
Yeah.
We're gonna have an
We have a lot of
information
volunteers.
desk. We're gonna have readers, you know, so there will be opportunity. If you know about libraries, it'd be nice to talk, interact with
Yeah.
the public. Yeah.
And people would really like to hear why you volunteered to be on the
Yeah.
lab.
And it's,
You know,
and
what
it's
you
just
do.
1 to 4, so it's very manageable. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be, you know, an 8-hour
And we
day.
did
so,
invite elected, some of them are gonna be able to come, so you never know who's gonna be there.
Who actually shows up. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. So number 6, member report. Oh, is there someone?
There's a, yeah.
Okay.
Fred would like to make a comment. UEG, you have the ability to speak.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I was just wondering if somebody from Jason Architects will be at the April 26th event.
We're not sure, we don't know for sure.
Laura's saying
We have the renderings and we have, people in planning who can talk about the building, but I don't know if the architect is gonna be there.
Uh-huh. Okay.
yes. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Judy. Okay, so now member reports, number 6.
I did one.
Okay.
Give
Yes,
maybe Timothy an opportunity to
All right,
tell us a little bit.
my name is Timothy Lidgate. I am a new member of this body and honored to be invited to join it. I'm a friend of the Felton Library. I've been on their leadership committee for, I don't know, a year and a half, couple of years at this point. Very thrilled to be there. It's an exciting place to be, and we've got all kinds of plans to make it even more exciting.
right.
It's been a fun thing to be doing. My background, I've been a book person ever since I was a little kid. Both my parents were authors. I was raised around books, did the whole higher education thing. And, for almost 40 years now, I've been volunteering at a private library in Connecticut called the Pequot Library in Southport, Connecticut, where we run a very significant book sale that raises a good half of the funds that library uses during the year. So when I met Michelle Mosher, who was on the Friends, she said, "Oh, well, come on over, so let's talk." And I've been very happy to be part of that. and look forward to contributing whatever I can.
Great,
Welcome.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so moving on to number 7, we have the consent calendar. And this is a simple vote. If there's something that needs to be pulled, now is the time. I think we give the public a chance at this point to see if,
As of right now, there's no,
okay.
no.
So if that is good for people, someone should make a motion.
Just accept items of the consent.
Okay,
A second.
all right. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? No. Okay, and moving on to general business, we have the volunteer program update presentation.
So much to say about this, and I'm so excited, nervous because some people in this room have done my job, so. And I was going to add with it all, except that, when we switched my presentation over from Google to PowerPoint, remember to mention that I'm talking about the Santa Cruz Public Library volunteers, but not about the Friends necessarily, because they add to this. So there's extra stuff that's not being mentioned. And then all of our, excuse me, all of our partnerships that we have, Wings and Project Scout, they're these amazing volunteers also, and they're not included in this. So I live that part. So I'm Mommy. I've worked at the library since the end of 2017. I worked as an aide and as an on-call LA2 and as a librarian. So I'm really excited to have this job because I sort of already knew my colleagues. I sort of already knew the library when I started, and I'm finding it really, really an asset to be able to sort of work on both sides of this position. So, this report provides an overview of the library's volunteer program, including information about who the volunteers are, why they volunteer, how they support the library's mission, and what they do. These are some of the frequently asked questions. So I thought I would answer those. And I would start, I think, so then I'll go on to the statistics, a few special programs and stories, and then what's next. So, who are our volunteers? Our volunteers are our number one fans. Our volunteers, I mean, if you've done this job, you know, they write love letters to us. Every time they want to apply, they want to help us out. They remember the library from when they're children. So I feel like in this position, I'm holding something very tender in that these people are coming with a lifetime of library love, and they're asking to be a part of what we do. So so that's who they are. They're why do we work with volunteers? I think it's obvious, but it gives them a sense of gratitude, a sense of belonging, a sense of agency, and it's great for us. So it's a mutual benefit. And then how do volunteers support the SCPL mission? I'm just going to read a little list because I think it's important, even though it's sort of getting off the cuff here. But our mission is supported when we offer volunteers from our community a place in our branches. Volunteers enhance the impact and inclusivity of the programs. They enhance the service outcomes. They increase the relevance and responsiveness to the community. They support librarian-led programs by making them scalable. They bring their own unique expertise and skills to programs that they design. They support the necessary functions of the SCPL, not by doing our jobs, but by making our jobs easier. And they invigorate the branch staff as they engage in programming that they're passionate about. What do volunteers do at the library? Volunteers right now support over 70 programs that we do at the library. This is just a small list of some of the things that they're helping us with right now. there are many more, and, I think that's really significant. So more about who our volunteers are. There are 503 volunteers in our database right now. We have over 180 active volunteers that I've been working with. And I just thought it'd be interesting to sort of break down who they are. They're retired, they're college students, they're young people, they're working professionals. 49 of our 180 active volunteers have a master's degree or a PhD. I think there's so much expertise that they're bringing that they share with us, and I think that's really, really important to acknowledge. We have over 27 teams. We have 14 fully bilingual volunteers right now. And we're really working hard on the Book Buddy program. I'm really excited about this. We have 9 Book Buddies right now, 10 and 10 Tales to Tales volunteers. A few more statistics here. Because I started this position in May of last year, so going from April last year to April this year, we have over 3,000 hours of volunteer service. We don't capture every hour. A lot of people don't log their hours in Better Impact. Some people because they never used to do it that way, and some people just haven't sort of folded them into the system yet. So that's it's smaller than it really is. Our volunteers have logged over 300 hours per month. And I was looking back at February and March, we had over 400 hours in February and March. So I think this is going to increase as we get people sort of more involved in signing up. And we have 468.5 total hours as of a couple days ago, logged in volunteer-led programs. And our branch support programs, the Adopt a Shelf and the Pix List, we have 487 hours. Here's just a few more statistics. We have over 100 hours in our new archives program, which is really exciting. We're digitizing all of the clippings files. Our Puzzle Exchange, another exciting program. We have almost 400 hours in our Puzzle Exchange. Those women are amazing. We have, just as sort of a general category, expressive arts and wellness, 173 hours, games, 405 hours. And the games, I just got a report from Diane saying that people at the Capitola branch, they're finding their community. They wouldn't, this is where they call home now, the Capitola branch, where they go and play games. So that seems really significant. At the Aptos branch alone, we have 222 volunteer hours. Jail literacy, 100 hours logged. STEAM projects, 407, and Book Buddies, 222. I wanted to really briefly highlight a couple of excuse me, really special volunteers and programs that we have. Let's see. And I haven't done this since I did my master's, so sorry. Your patience. 4 pages. I can tell you, Rocio is a young person who moved here from out of state, started helping at lunch at the library. We were there early together. We had this conversation, and they said to me, "Oh, I really like photography." And so I said, "Oh, would you like to take pictures for us?" And yes, they have been taking pictures at our all of our events for over a year now. And so all the pictures in this presentation are taken by Rocio, this lovely young person who just happy to volunteer their time. Another highlight is the puzzle program. You guys all know about the puzzle program. Okay, so we're at 6 branches now, which is really exciting. We had over 500 puzzle donations just in March. And yeah, and about that many have gone out. So this is just a really, really exciting program. People really love it. We had a little celebration here in January for National Puzzle Day. We had about 50 people come. So this is all volunteer led. So Leslie in the middle, this was her idea. She came to me with this fully organized plan. And she's been training all of these really lovely volunteers to help each branch with their puzzle program, because when the donations come in, they have this protocol where they check them, they tape the edges, they put them all in a bag, they give little instructions, so it's really, really well thought out. So that's an exciting program. And then the archives is really something that is so exciting. We're doing, we have 6 volunteers right now in the archives. And we are accessioning, excuse me, and digitizing as much as we can, from clipping files, from collections that have been donated. And this is all in preparation of moving to the new library. So, so we don't have to carry all that paper with us. So this is it's really exciting work. And these are all pretty highly skilled volunteers, and they know what they're doing. Adorable picture taken by Rocio. I just, I mentioned before that we have these love letters to the library, which come in 500, and I just picked this one because it sort of covers the whole gamut of what we do in a really elegant way. And yeah, I just think I know you all know, so I don't need to tell you that volunteers are important, but but there's such I feel like they love us unconditionally, and they come to us and they tell us what they want. So they're this incredible asset. Yeah, they're our #1 fans, I think. So what's next in the volunteer department? We're gonna have some more branches, hopefully adopting the Puzzle Exchange. We're still working really hard on expanding the Book Buddy program. This is volunteers reading to seniors in nursing homes. I don't know if that's even, I'm working on coming up with a proposal for that. I've talked to some people, I think that'd be really exciting. Jessica and I talked about the possible shadow librarian, because so many of our volunteers want to know what we do. They want to be in the staff. They want to be a part of what we do. And I think that'd be a really, maybe there's some excellent opportunity for us to do that. And then I know Heather is shepherding the reading buddies, teens reading with kids. That's something that's going to happen this summer, which is seems really just very exciting. So, that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Are there any questions?
No, great photos.
Yes,
Great
they are.
photos.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do we need to check in with the public?
No.
Okay.
Can I just have one comment, not a question, but, you know, I love that idea of love letters to the library. I mean, I feel like we're all capable of writing love letters to the library. You know, Timothy, when you introduced yourself, I mean, you were absolutely just saying what I could have said, you know. It might be nice to think about a project. Yeah, where and, you know, friends groups could, you know, and library staff could contribute and volunteers could contribute. I mean, it might be kind of a fun once a month, you know, just on the website or something like that. That love letter was so gorgeous, you know, and yeah, it's nice to know you have a bunch of them.
And that is a part of the festival, because people are gonna be able to write what they're hoping to see in Time Branch. And then
Oh, yeah, tell them about the time capsule. I don't think anybody talked about that.
You just said it. But people will be invited to imagine what they're gonna do in the new branch, or what they would like to do. And we're gonna put all of the comments into a time capsule.
And then we'll open it on opening day, is that right?
Opening day,
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to see how well we go.
Your comment as well is well taken, Tricia. At staff day next week, one of the activities we'll have is we'll give each staff member a couple of giant Post-its, but one of them will be, what's your favorite thing of the job? Why, you know, what motivates you to come to work? And we were talking with our community engagement person, Anna Maria Treadwell, this morning about ways we can, you know, extend that experience, you know, take photos of it and maybe repurpose it for marketing and community engagement purposes. And that can also help kick off, you know, because in many libraries, they'll do it like once a month. They'll have Post-its up on a glass window somewhere and you can stop and write.
Yeah.
And it just makes everyone feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
And we all kind of need that
Yeah, we
sometimes.
need it. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Anything else? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie.
So B is the summer reading update presentation.
My moral support.
Buddy system.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Heather Norquist, and I manage youth programs and services for the library system. And I'm here with Jeffrey Goodman, who manages adult programs and services for the library system, to talk about our plans for summer reading 2025. Summer reading is a fun program for everyone, except me. But it's also a really valuable program because it helps prevent summer slide. Learning loss that occurs when children are out of school and away from structured learning activities. Kids who don't read over the summer fall behind their peers when school starts up again, and the effects of this summer slide can last a lifetime. Our summer reading program will be very similar to last year's, using the Beanstack platform along with paper reading logs. So for that reason, I'm okay with summer reading. Last year, we enrolled 2,255 children ages 0 to 11, 415 teens, and 1,207 adults in our summer reading program, for a total of 3,877 participants. As you can see, our numbers continue to grow each year. So what we did in 2024 was, for children, we had 20% more children than we did the year before. And overall, we have 13% more participants than we did the year before. And expect that that will continue to grow. We're getting close to what we were pre-COVID, which is great. Even though it's hard to compare because so many families are moving away. Exactly, everything is different. Our theme for summer reading is Color Our World, with a focus on creativity and self-expression. It'll work really well with creative writing, poetry, music, and arts and crafts. Our marketing department has come up with a beautiful design for our reading log and brochure. And we are also going to hand out single sheets of the reading log. For the paper log. We're also including QR codes on bookmarks that take people directly to our summer reading page where they can sign up. And I have some of those.
Okay.
Yeah. All of our summer reading materials are bilingual. And as before, readers can log their reading using either the paper log or the Beanstack platform. For youth incentives, we're partnering with the Friends of the Santa Cruz Public Libraries and Atlantis Fantasy World and Penny Arts Creamery to provide incentives for children and teens. And like last year, in addition to the other incentive prizes, we're offering major raffle prizes for children and teens. We've also added some eco-friendly incentives to distribute along with the raffle tickets. So this year, instead of Beats headphones, the teens asked for Kindle Fire. That's exciting. We tried to simplify the incentives this year so it wasn't so complicated for staff. So I'll talk about the ones for kids and teens, and then Jessica will talk about the adult ones later. When they sign up, kids get an Atlantis Fantasy World certificate for a graphic novel and a Boardwalk Bowl coupon for a free game and shoes. And teens also get that. After reading 5 hours, kids get a free book, and teens get an eco-friendly mini coloring book set. It's this big. with little color pencils. It's really cute. And then at 10 hours, both kids and teens get a raffle ticket and a custom sticker designed by a local artist. After 15 hours, both kids and teens get a second raffle ticket and a sprouting pencil. If you don't know what a sprouting pencil is, it's a pencil that is a regular pencil, but then when you're finished using it as a pencil, you can plant it in the ground and it grows into a plant. And ours is going to grow into a cucumber plant. And they come from Denmark. And then, so that's to go along with our a goal of using less plastic in our incentives and being more eco-friendly. So that's really feels good to do those kinds of things. And then for 20 hours, both kids and teens get a free scoop from Penny Ice Creamery and a third raffle ticket and the grand prize raffle ticket. And the grand prize for kids is $500 gift card to the bike shop of their choice. And for teens, it's either AirPods or Kindle Fire or a $500 gift card to the bike shop of their choice. And then the other raffle prizes are like gift cards to local businesses, and a lot of we try to support our local businesses too through this. The Friends have provided funding for 2 performers at each branch, and also performance outreach on the website. But some chapters are funding additional performers, along with our regular favorites such as the Tello Marionettes, and Carrie Ann. We have some new offerings, including several new musical shows, including a bilingual Spanish program promoting nutrition and physical fitness with puppets. And this is Sean's Music Factory, a high-energy musical show with puppets. And we also have Village Rhythms, a participatory African drum program. We're also offering anime drawing workshops for teens. For in-house programs, our youth librarians are planning to offer a variety of fun craft and STEAM programs at every branch. Some highlights related to the creative self-expression theme include the ink marbling on coasters, techniques in printmaking, and book bag decorating. We're going to do lunch at the library again this year. We're in the early stages of planning, but we hope to provide 2 pop-up programming events at 10 summer meal sites. So we sign people up for we tell them about summer reading, invite them to sign up, and we distribute books to build home libraries. Studies have shown that the number of books in a home helps predict early reading abilities, and that children in the highest socioeconomic status have over 5 times the books in their homes as children in the lowest quartile. So we're trying to help that. We distribute really fun books that the kids love, and we get great, appreciation from them. And our youth librarians will also be tabling at several youth-oriented community engagement events, starting in mid-April to promote summer reading, including Earth Day, April 19th. The Meet Me at the Library celebration, Kids Day on May 3rd, the Santa Cruz History Fair on May 17th, and the Japanese Cultural Festival on June 7th.
Hey, hi.
Hi.
Good. I manage adult programs and services for the library system. And the adult programs and services team is looking forward to offering a variety of special programs this summer. They will celebrate color and creativity and all kinds of artistic expression. I'm new to reading black. Quite have the rhythm.
Get used to it.
That's on top of multiple. Okay. We will have master gardeners workshops on pollinator gardening and colorful container gardening. We have a nature journaling class, and we'll be doing a composting class where participants will make their own compost kit that they get to then take home and use. All kinds of opportunities to learn and create this summer. We will have an upcycling series where people can learn how to repurpose old clothing. We have laser cutting and engraving. We're doing that with our partners at Idea Fab Labs. So pretty excited to offer that. We will have Zentangle, which is relaxing pattern drawing. And over the summer, we usually do that in black and white. In the summer, it will be in color. And we will also have a mosaic workshop that is titled Mosaic My Day. So creative. I'm not the creative one, my team is. Also, we have learn how to make pressed flower crafts. We will have make your own watercolor palettes with plants and minerals. And the Santa Cruz Textile Arts Guild is going to be doing a special demo day with spinning and weaving and dyeing and all kinds of fiber arts. We have a very special local history program for Santa Cruz Pride's 50th anniversary this year. And this actually calls back to what Mommy was showing with the archiving volunteers. So the Lavender Reader was an LGBTQ magazine in the 80s and 90s. And the founders and editors are going to come and have a conversation, I think, with Christopher. Yes. So we're excited about Lavender Reader. We will also have an author talk with Alka Joshi. She wrote The Hem Artist. We'll have some watercolor and ink painting classes. We have the annual Santa Cruz Shakespeare talk about this season's plays. We will have some Yemeni Jewish music performance. And we're gonna kick off the Santa Cruz Black film screening series with Fruitvale Station and Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat. More film screenings. There's a documentary, Free for All. It's a story of America's public libraries. And then the Pride series, which is a multi-part series looking at the fight for LGBTQ rights in the United States, going all the way back to the 50s to today. Let's see, also things for people who love books. There'll be the book publishing workshops, book binding classes, and then a special poetry writing workshop for ekphrastic poetry, extra credit for anybody who knows what that is. Of course, Lami knows what that is. So that's poems written in response, reaction to works of visual art. We are also keeping it simple this year with the incentive prizes. Thanks to our friends at Santa Cruz Shakespeare. We have some tickets, raffle ticket to win a family pack of tickets to this year's plays. That's for people who sign up by June 20-something, June 22nd, something like that. We'll have eco-friendly strap notebooks, giving those away to everybody who completes the 5 hours. At 10 hours, the keepsake stickers, that's the same as the youth have. We have our silver level 15-hour raffle, that's for a state parks pass, an annual pass. And at 20 hours, the gold level raffle is for a Monterey Bay Aquarium family membership. And we will also be out in the community. We will be, once again, marching and participating in the Pride Festival. It's a very big one this year. It's the 50th anniversary, in Santa Cruz. And then our outreach team is going to have the brand new book bike, Gonzo the Great, who has yet to make his debut, but he's coming. Gonzo will be at Juneteenth this year. So we are excited to bring adults into the library this summer to get creative, to learn a new thing or two, spend some time reading. And we also really like to encourage parents and grandparents to sign up with the kids so that you get the whole family reading together and model reading for the kids.
I have one quick, are we gonna have a summer reading booth at the party on April 26th?
We are not.
I'm hoping we'll have at least some information, maybe even just a poster that people could take a picture of or something. I mean, I know we are a little early, but
Yeah, I thought I'd bring some of the bookmarks and put them at the table.
perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Great.
There'll be a couple of tables that it could be, important.
And I have posters too, I can bring them.
Great. Even if people could take a picture of it, and start thinking about it. This is a really exciting program. I mean, it always is, but this seems especially exciting this year. So, I'd love to encourage more and more people to get involved.
Yeah, thank you.
Great, thanks.
I'm
curious about this sprouting pencil. What is that?
It just looks like a regular pencil. It says Santa Cruz Public Library on it. But you can use it as a pencil, and then when you're tired of using it as a pencil, you just stick it in the ground and it grows into the ones that we got are cucumbers, but they come in like carnations or they come in different flavors.
You want one, right?
Well, join the summer reading program. You gotta earn it.
Were there any other questions? That sounds amazing. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Yay.
So moving on to C, the updated conflict of interest code policy. So are you presenting that?
I was just gonna give a very brief comment on the staff report on that's on page 25 of your packet. And this was kicked in to gear because we needed to add the outreach manager to our list of positions that fall under this policy. And then that unearthed that we actually needed to update it to bring it in line with recent changes with the Fair Political Practices Commission codes of regulations. This was written by our lawyer, so that's about as, I'll stop there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any questions?
This is the thing we did online, right?
Mhm.
We got invited to,
Yeah,
that was a little tricky.
yeah, yeah.
I think I did it.
It's like the Form 700 stuff, yeah.
Do we need to adopt this, or was this just information?
I
Yeah.
think we need a motion.
So I move that we approve this conflict of interest policy.
Second.
Okay. Do you need more time, or can we vote on the motion? Okay, I think we can do all in favor. Aye. Any nays? Okay. And that passes. And then our last general business, is that your presentation?
Yeah,
Okay.
this one I'll talk a little bit more on. This is a new child protection policy. It's a brand new policy for the system. That
On
we're
page
asking-
31.
On page 31, thank you. And we're asking for your endorsement here as well. Shortly after I arrived here, I got a call from our risk management people in the city of Santa Cruz who were charged with getting our insurance. And that's when I learned that we weren't covered under the self-insurance of the city or the county. We buy our own. It was a learning process for me, but they were having trouble insuring us because we didn't have a policy that outlined how we would handle situations of child abuse or child neglect and recognizing that. So we've spent the last 7 months with staff, with risk management, with legal, with HR, developing a policy that takes us just up to the line of mandatory reporting. Libraries have always, you would understand this, Charlotte, have always just been outside that line because we were not in loco parentis. We're not like a summer program where kids sign up and you drop the kids off and you sign a waiver and you come back at the end of the day. We always require, at least with a certain age limit, a guardian or an older person to be there with the child as they're using the library. So this policy achieves that. There are not a whole lot of examples of this out there in public library land. We did manage to find about 6 from around the country to help inform this one. And staff had a lot of input in on it, and then legal helped us redraft it so it reads very straightforward. The final piece of this, apart from this endorsement, this is with meet and confer at the unions. We want to make sure that they're comfortable with this as well. And then if all the timing goes right, including today, it will go to the May JPA board meeting for full adoption. After it's adopted, we will roll out training to staff on how to handle it. All staff will sign that they've taken the training, and then we'll have every other year, they'll get a refresher in this, and this will keep us up to date. It's very similar. The procedure and the protocol is similar to mandatory reporting, but it doesn't bring with it that extra weight and requirements and responsibilities that being a legal mandatory reporter would carry. Staff would still follow. This would be a staff policy and procedure that they would be following. This also, I should mention, will cover new volunteers that work with children as well. So it will be a little bit of a change for some of those people. But as it says it near the beginning of the policy, that it's aimed to protect children from misconduct while importantly safeguarding staff, volunteers, and program providers from false accusations. So that's kind of the summary, where it came from. Yes.
Thank you for this. I'm totally in favor of the reporting of child abuse, so no questions at all there. My questions really came under the definitions. So, I'm with the Friends chapter. We do tons of volunteer work in the library. So we provide unpaid services to the library. And we provide goods and services. So we fall under kind of program providers and volunteers. And then it says all staff, volunteer, and program providers must undergo background checks. So that background check is such a huge obstacle for volunteering. And then the training, it's like, when would the Friends group, like maybe we provided cookies for the chess tournament that's gonna be at the Outcast Library. So that's a goods and services. And anybody who's either baking or buying, it just seemed kind of overkill because most of the work we do is not working directly with children, and it just set off an alarm. Oh my gosh, I've been fingerprinted my whole adult life for all kinds of things and I'm comfortable with it. But some people aren't, and it just seems like we're gonna push some people out who really just come and help with a book sale or help with the program. So I just wondered if we could tighten that definition up a little bit.
So we could bring that back to the council. We've been working on, we did have a conversation around that. And, you know, if you're a volunteer who doesn't really work with kids, if you're just coming in for the book sale and maybe you're once a year, that's the thing you do. That's probably the leeway. If you're working with kids, you know, Lami and I were meeting with the Friends chapter in here in this room last week and had the same conversation.
Okay,
It will be a change, and Lami is stepping up and saying, you know, happy to help you get through the fingerprinting process. It's super easy. And I will admit, we went through the same change in New York City and we lost
Okay.
volunteers.
Yeah.
I totally get it. And one of the concerns that came up last week was data, right? Because
Mhm.
now suddenly everyone's data seems to be being shared when you thought it wasn't being
Yeah.
before. What
Yeah.
happens to your data when you're fingerprinted?
Mhm.
Who knows what? Obviously, on the library side, we're always going to err on the side of confidentiality and privacy because that's our business. But these are the questions that
Yeah.
we will have to
Yeah.
answer.
I just hate to see obstacles put in front of people who care about libraries, who
Yep.
care about people, and who are not really working with kids
Yep.
directly, but maybe providing a service that is
Mhm.
going to a children. Anyway,
Yep.
it just seemed overly broad. I'd love it to be tightened up a little bit.
And did you have a?
Well, I just wanted to say, Tricia, that Christopher's listening to me, and this is what I brought up again at the Friends meeting, but he just really clearly said, it's for children's programming exclusively. So, right, so, I mean, maybe that's how you'll end up
Mhm.
saying it, right? So not exclusively, but specifically. So, right, so if we had a puzzle program, there were kids there, but it wasn't a children's program.
Yeah,
So, right, so making that distinction. maybe.
but like the Friends group, recently brought in a printmaker. His artwork was being shown in our library and he offered to do a program. It was kind of directed toward teens, although a couple adults
Mhm.
snuck in. And, we provided refreshments and there were some volunteers there. And yeah, I guess it's a children's program, but
And he
it's-
should be too, right? Probably. He should.
Yeah.
well, he was a teacher, I think. He's a teacher at Aptos High School, so
He's
you know,
already
it's kind
covered.
of easy, but
Yeah.
anyway, I just read this. It's not really clear that I mean, the volunteer is any person who provides unpaid services to the library, including advisory board members. Anyway, I would love to see it tightened up a little bit.
We'll take that back. Thank
And,
you.
and yes, also, I don't know if there's an expense. I know my
Yes.
kids have, oh, you pay it.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's very expensive.
yeah,
But we pay it.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and let me just, completely agree with everything you said. I know our French chapter is, very concerned. I think you've stated it a few times. It said this whole thing is intended for people working with children. But it doesn't say that here. So I think just the clarification that says volunteer, you know, for staff, volunteer.
Direct,
Yeah,
direct.
you know, something specific, otherwise completely unnecessarily, yes, we will lose
Mhm.
lots of volunteers who will never come into contact with.
Yeah.
children.
If it would be helpful at all to have like a moment, I'm happy to shepherd anyone who has insecurities about this into this, you know.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not
I think
about.
we're talking about the language specifically
It's not about the
as a code,
process, yes.
like for us.
We'll
It
take it
just
back.
seems overkill. And I think honestly, if it was really, if you're interacting with children, I think everybody gets that.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with children, absolutely, you need, a background check, you need to be fingerprinted, absolutely. Especially if you're gonna be alone with them, but that's not what this says in my mind. It's really, it would be every French chapter who contributed money
Yeah.
that went to cookies at a,
It would be so helpful to have it clear. That
Yeah.
makes so much
Yeah.
sense.
yeah.
I have another issue. It's about the language about on the page 33 at the top, it says pornography should never be shown to children, and above that is vulgar or sexual language when a child is present. And I think that both of those need to be taken out. And the reasoning is that in Tennessee, they banned the Mouse book because there was a naked woman in it. I know Matilda has been banned because it has the word ass in it. There's so many, it's just a tinderbox right now.
Yeah.
So pornography, and also this is these are really minors, not children, that this is for. It's 17 and under, so, yeah, that to me, I would never be able to vote on including that language, because I think it can be manipulated, and if it's a code, then someone from the public, no matter what the intention is, someone
Try
from
to
the
apply
public
it.
can say, wait a minute, there's pornography, that was, on my teen's movie night, it's just an LGBT movie or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I just think.
I totally get it, and we had significant conversation around both of these points with legal and with risk management, because I get where you're coming from, and the language that was there originally would open the door for Heather's has to mommies to be brought to my attention and saying like, what are you grooming kids with? And that's where, the language was changed to something that's a little bit more action oriented. So I will take this back.
If this is included, these 2 points, I cannot, I would,
endorse.
no.
Okay.
I just think it's like the words pornography, vulgar, and sexual language have been so politicized that, and they're meaningless, honestly. I think they're meaningless legally. I think they're, it just, especially when we're talking about 17-year-olds. So.
Okay, we'll absolutely take that back.
Okay, thank you. Other comments?
No.
Comments from the public?
There are no online comments.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
one more, I guess it's maybe meaningless, but on page 33 where it talks about, providing transportation. Again, it's clearly understand what you're getting at, but it says in no instance may employees, volunteers, or providers provide transportation to a child, in their personal company or library owned vehicle. I think it would be good to just clarify to a child, attending a library function or something like that.
Just to make it more specific that it's library oriented,
Yeah.
because that's a very common thing to find in library policies.
There, yeah.
A related question, maybe nitpicky, but suppose one of those volunteers is a parent who's bringing home another kid who's a neighbor kid known to them. They've
Yeah,
left the
I
library.
actually wondered about that too. It
They're
doesn't seem very
not
tight.
doing library business, they're just taking their neighbor's kid home.
And the implication there is that they're functioning as the guardian of the kid, which we do allow for in all of our policies. So it's not necessarily a parent who has to be there with their child, if their parent has a guardian with them. That would be the
And does that
implication
need to
there.
be quantified on a piece of paper in a case like that?
We can
or is it
ask legal if that's something that should be, I
permission
think it'd
slip,
be
like you
fine.
can take my kid home or whatever? Again, I don't know how granular you need to be.
Yeah.
And has the insurance company looked at this? Is this tailored for them in order to allow you to get policies?
Well, this is part of it. This is why risk management has been part of the conversation. They function as the insurance negotiator for us, so, and he's pretty tough.
Why is he singling Santa Cruz Library out and other libraries are not dealing with this?
Most libraries who are, and you would understand, who are municipal or county government, they're covered under the self-insurance of that government. We're not. As a JPA, we have to go out and get our own.
Oh, it's a
insurance.
JPA. Oh, okay.
So that's why it's fairly unique. And I
Never-
asked a few other JPA libraries in the state when he first called, and none of them had this and said, please don't do it. But I have to
They'll
be,
be able to copy you.
I don't want to be the only library system in California not offering kids programs because our insurance is held up. So
Right,
this
okay.
is kind of the bind that we're, this is not something I elected to do, as any of my staff will tell you. But this feedback is appropriate and we'll definitely take it back. So in that case, you don't necessarily have to endorse today. We'll bring it back to the next.
So
That'd
is
be
it-
great. That'd be great.
Or
I'd
we
feel more
could,
comfortable.
we could also endorse with amendments
Yeah, or
like that,
Although we
knowing
would
that.
definitely want to see it.
Yeah.
We would definitely want to see it, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think the amendments was you kind of, like, we're creating the amendments here, but yeah, yeah.
Good news is we meet in May.
Yeah, this is a back to back. Now I don't have to pad next month's agenda.
Is it before the JPA? Okay, well, perfect. Okay, anything else on this? All right, and no public comments, so I think. Are we ready to adjourn? So our next meeting will be May 19th in Capitola. And this is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is one of the most